All right, let's do this. So, um, let's see, a book opening. So I'm going to go through this. I have some ideas in mind, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that I'm going to kind of work with the book itself and getting a control that has it starting from a closed position, going into an open. And that control is going to be what will drive everything else that will be connected into this. So I do have a control, well, a curve that a circle basically. I just made it a bit more squarish. And what I'm going to do is add in a control or an attribute into it. So let me see here, display. I'll just give it a bit of a coloring as well. Maybe something a bit more magical. Let's see here. All right. And I'm going to create a control, or again, sorry, an attribute. So add attributes. I'll just call it open. Maybe 0 to 5. Maybe 0 to 1. So 0 to 1. And add. Cool. Next thing I need to do is create a rig that'll allow me to open this. Now I should point out I used your initial model, Jamie, but I did add in just a couple extra rows so that when I smoothed it, you know, it kept a little bit more of its form. And let me just go into an ortho view. I'm going to use my joint tool. And let's see here, I'm just going to go right down through the middle. And I think I'm going to give these ones, just follow the shape. So something like this maybe. Cool. And next thing I'm going to do is you should probably label these joints as well. So maybe I'll just do a, let me see here, just a search and replace names. So modify, search and replace names, prefix hierarchy names. So search for joint and replace it with book JNT. There we go. And I'm going to select the root and the book and bind it. So skin, bind skin. Normally we always want to go with selected joints, but in this case I'm going to do a joint hierarchy. And closest distance, that's all good. All right. Next thing I want to do is just parent the joints under the control. So when I move that control, everything moves with it. And let's see, so we got this open here. So what I want to do with that is bring up my set-driven key. And we might have to do some weight painting, but let's see what happens. So I'm going to grab those guys and rotates and translates. Just all of them. All of them. Okay, key that. Cool. And let's see, so it's open on 0, I guess so. And 1, I guess, will be closed. So let's just shape this now. So let me see, shading, X-ray joints. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to have to paint some weights, it looks like. All right, let me just do that very quickly. Alrighty. So let's just go over and give this guy 100% here. And then this guy is this guy here. So we'll give that 100% over here. Cool. And it should probably be 0% over here. So with this, 0%. This middle one is going to be mostly here, and just to help me with that, I'm going to grab that, Control F9 to convert that into faces, or to faces to vertices, and I'm going to flood that. Whoops, white. There we go. And I should probably do the same for up here too, actually. And oh, this should be, what's going on with the weights here? So why is that not getting 100%? No, it is weird. Anyhow, be close enough. All right, let's try this again. So let me go in here and rotate that up. It's a little bit better. Some stuff's moving over there, so let's just see if we can fix that. Okay, and let's keep going. So this moves up a bit. This moves over here a bit. This moves over here a bit. Cool. And I think that's pretty much 90 degrees. That's pretty good. So we got some stuff happening here. Let's see if we can just weight hammer that and fix that up. So skin, hammer skin weights. It's a bit better. I wonder if that's as good as that's going to get. I think that's as good as that might get. All right, so I'll live with that. And I'm gonna key this. All right, so, oh, shoot. Did I move this? I did. Good stuff. So it is losing a little bit of volume as it shuts. So, you know, in the scheme of things, it won't be that noticeable. But let me just do a delta mush deformer and see if that fixes that. Otherwise, I have to do a blend shape. Let me see here. So deform, delta mush, and that will help preserve the volume. Or not. We're just going to completely blow up. Why is that happening? Yeah, the delta mush is not helping us here, so let's just get rid of that. All right, what I might do is just do a very simple blend shape. So let me just activate the blend shapes. Create a blend shape, call it book blend or something like that. Target, and again, just a very, very simple shape, just to make sure the volume is being preserved here. That's probably good enough. Alrighty, and I just need to turn off key, or edit I should say, and I will do a set driven key on that. So I should have this open here. I didn't give it a name. Let me just closed shape. There it is. Kit, and then let's go and open that, and let's turn that blend shape off and key that. Alright, so that part is done. Cool. And if you're finding, you know, maybe some of the volume could be still a little bit better, you know, we could just enhance that shape, but I think in the scheme of things nobody would notice that, especially with moving pages and stuff like that. Alright, now the pages. How are we going to do that? So I see that we got a couple pages here already, and they're already kind of shaped. I think we're going to have to rig this up, though. So to do that, we might want to rebuild this a little bit, perhaps. So let me just isolate that. And separate them. And I'm just going to remove quite a lot of this stuff here. Alright, and that just leaves this little tiny bit here. So I'm going to keep that. That has like all the divisions at the corners. I'm going to grab that edge and extrude it out. I should probably save too. File, increment, save. Alright, so let's see here. So if I go with thickness, not thickness. Nope, that's not going to give me offset. It's not quite working. So I'll just do it this way. Cool. And let's see, so somewhere about here. Center pivot on that. I think I might have to restart Maya. It's acting up. So I'm just going to pause the recording here, and I'm going to restart Maya. Alright, so let's see what we got here. I should probably also just make sure that, since I'm using blend shapes instead of driven key, just make sure that my settings animation is set to dependency graph because there's some issues there. Did I restart? I think I did, but it's still acting up a little bit. Weird. Actually, I don't think I did restart. Sorry, I was interrupted. I just had to put the kids to bed, so let me see. I think I'm going to have to actually restart it. So just give me 1 second here. So I'm going to just increment and save, and then I am going to shut down. So I'm going to pause it, sorry, just for 1 more second. All right, so just waiting for Maya to open. Yeah, it was acting up for some reason. So file, open scene. All right. That's a bit better. So let me just isolate this. Let me see what it looks like. Smooth. I guess that's okay. Oh, did I even extrude that? I don't know. Let's see. I think this needs to be moved. No, I guess that's it. So I'm going to divide this a few times. So let me see here. Just go back over to poly modeling. And you know what, just to play it safe, let me just select the entire ring of faces, and I'm going to go to the mesh, edit mesh, add divisions, switch it to linearly, and just choose maybe like 6 or maybe 8 divisions here. Is that the right direction? Yes. Whoops. I'm going to go around the entire, there we go, that's what I want to see. Cool. And I'm going to rig this up. So you might notice that this isn't lots of pages, it's just one page, which is basically the book closed position. This is actually I'm going to animate the visibility on this. But before I do, I'm going to use this also to generate all of my other clumps too. So I just have to rig this one thing, and I'll duplicate special it out, and then change the thickness of the different pages, essentially. I think it might be a bit easier to do it that way, perhaps. So go to my joints, and I'm going to grab a joint here. And I just need at least 5 joints, just so I can get a, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do 5. I think we'll get a better result with 5 joints. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5. Now we have too many. Third time's a charm. Alright, I'm going to freeze trans and do all that stuff. Alright, and subvert angle, bind it to the book. So we got that, got the book, skin, bind skin. I wonder if it needs to be set to none. Do they? Sorry, I'm using my 2017 or 19, and just want to make sure that it's not quite looking so good. Let me see here. I'm going to bind it one more time, just with a slightly different setting approach. So I feel like we can get a better result. There we go. So scan, bind scan. Let's see. It's not. One more time. I think something might do a little bit of weight painting, perhaps. It'll be worth it though, because we don't have to do it for any other pages. So let me see. Scan, bind, scan. I think most of the problem is just down on this end here. So let's make sure this is more or less 100% to this joint. It's weird. All right, so let's do this. And let's see if we can just weight hammer the rest. Maybe that's okay. Let me just also flood that. And again, just go down and weight hammer this stuff. Cool. All right, so hopefully that'll give us the flexibility we need when animating this opening and closing. All right, so let me just assume preferred angle. There we are, back to where we were. And let's bring everything back. So I'm going to parent this page into the book here. So that goes to this joint. So now when I open the book, this thing is just going to literally go halfway. Right? Just like so. So as I mentioned, we are going to want to probably going to want to duplicate special on this thing. So actually, let me unparent that just for a brief second. We'll do that at the end. So I need to make my copies now. So we're going to do maybe three chunks and maybe a single page. And, you know, it's the same process. You can maybe repeat that if you want more pages or whatnot. But I think that's probably more than enough. So we got this, we got the page, which is right here under this. Oh, I didn't delete history on that before. We go delete. Delete by type, non-deformer history. And I should be able to, nope. There we go. I'm going to turn off inherit transforms just so I can just so I can move it all around together once I parent everything. So we got this, group it. Probably a good idea to label as you go. I'm probably going to center pivot also. Just put it at the base. There it is. And, you know, label each of these. So each of these joint chains should have their own labels and stuff. Let's see. I guess I lost those things I added to the shelf. So modify, search replace. Joint with big page. There we go. Page group, whatever. All right, and I'm going to duplicate this. So edit, duplicate special, option box. So we're going to do duplicate input graph, apply. Please don't crash, didn't save. Something's happening because I hear my machine wearing up. Probably should have saved it first, maybe. The worst case situation is that we do it again. The worrying doesn't quite sound promising. All right, well let's launch another one. And this time what I'll do is I'll delete history on those separated pages too, just before I put the joints in. All right, so open scene. Yeah, so why don't I do that? So delete history, edit, delete by type history, unparent it, call it big page. All right. Let's isolate it. Right, rigging help. Okay. So let me see here. So divisions again linearly. I think we did 8. I'll turn off inherit transforms now. And let's create those joints. This time will be even better. I'm kind of glad the other one crashed out. So let's see. So 5 joints. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's even better. So triangle. Skin, bind skin. Did I not bind skin? Skin, bind skin, joint hierarchy. Third time. And save. Should probably be doing that a lot. Let's see, did the other one come back? Oh, it did. Good stuff. Well, then we'll continue on with this one. Let me increment and save this one save as one higher. Yeah, I don't know why I just froze there, but it doesn't look like. Oh wait, this. No, it didn't come back. Yeah, it's still frozen. Yeah, it's frozen. Alright. Oh, good news is that we got this one. And it's saved. So let's just very quickly paint some weights again. Alright, so let me just shape this. Whoa, don't do that. Do that. And let's do this end here. Oops, let's gotta go to this guy. And then maybe this middle section here, I'll just do this guy here too. Alright, what am I doing? So let's see. This middle guy is going to get flooded. Third time's a charm. There we go. So that leaves these guys in between. So what I'm going to do is weight hammer this stuff. So let's go back to our weight hammer. Skin. Tear this off actually. Actually, before I weight hammer, let's do this. Cool. Now I'm just going to weight hammer. So edge. So I think this will actually give us a bit of a better result, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be better-ish. Maybe this could be hammered a little bit. No, this one. There we go. It's a bit better. All right, I'll go with that. So we're losing a bit of volume, but I think that's going to be okay. So next thing, I'm going to go and assume preferred angle. So we're back. Increment and save. So I don't have to do that again. So as I was saying, we're going to want to group this, and I'm going to do maybe three big pages and maybe a single from the same duplicate. So let's give this a name. So modify, search and replace names. So joint with big page or something like that. Okay, we'll group that. Big page group. All right. And I'm going to increment and save because I don't want to do that naming again. Cool. So next thing we're going to do is let's duplicate special. So I'm going to grab that group, edit, I save. So if it crashes, I'll just explicitly destroy Maya. So duplicate special. So that's good. I said 3. Let's do 4. One's going to be a single page. So apply. Cool. All right, so that worked. So for different groups, we should rename these, but for now that's going to be okay. So what I should be able to do is just move these groups one at a time. So these groups I'm going to just center pivots on. Probably should do that on the first one as well. So let me see here. Sorry, I just drew a blank there all of a sudden. So center pivot, and just shift them down. There they go. So this is the big one. We got to keep that one the size it is because that's what the book will look like when it's closed. So we don't see any weird gaps or shadows and things like that. Now these guys we're going to scale down. There we go. Now we can't scale the joints, so that's one thing. So we are going to have to scale the individual pieces of geometry. So let me hide the original one. Hide. I'm going to select all of these guys and just go to component mode. Turn on faces, and I'm going to shrink these down so they're approximately similar to what you had initially. And some can be thicker than others, but they do all have to fit within the big one here. Right. So now what I can do is move these around. So this will be one that stays maybe on this side of the book. And then this one will flop over when the book opens. So that's only 2, so maybe this one could be even smaller. So remember, we want to scale the geometry when we do this. There we go, that's that guy. Oh, just make sure that when you're moving it up and down, that is with the group. There we go. And then this guy, I'll move him up. And again, he needs to be scaled down slightly also, so let me just go into faces. And then the last one will be a single page. The single page, the important single page. So for this, I'm going to isolate it. And I'm going to delete everything that isn't necessarily a single page. Okay, here it is here. Or, sorry, delete everything around it. So let's see here. There we go. So now we got a single page. And then what I'm going to do is just take the face on that and put it in the middle of our joint chain. Again, it's all rigged and everything, so we don't have to do that again. Everything should be still connected. Cool stuff. Now you could give it a little bit of thickness. Maybe we should have done that instead of making it perfectly flat, but I'll leave that up to you because you could have just squished it to almost be a single page if you wanted to. All right, so that's cool. And this one will go a little bit more in the middle. Probably pretty much where it is, I think. Let me see, maybe I'll just lower it down to about here. Something like that. All right, so I think we're ready to go. So all of these guys, oh, what did I do though? Yeah, I did keep that. Okay, good stuff. So all of these groups can get parented into this middle joint here. There we go. And I'm going to save that. So increment and save. So now it's picking up. So basically when the book's closed, it's going to be the big page. And then as soon as it starts to open, what we're going to do is a visibility switch between the big page and all those little pages. Now we're going to have a little bit of motion on that big page just to help transition into the separating of all of the individual smaller pages. So let's see how that's going to work out. So right now this is what we have, where just they all open together like so, and it looks like there's something sticking out at the bottom, which I'll figure that out in a little bit. So the big page is right here. So what I need to do is just make sure that we are dealing with visibility. So we're going to have to open up our set-driven key. Open. Let's see here. Set-driven key. Load driver. This one's bugging me a bit, so let me just see what's happening with that. I'll just move that up a bit. There we go. And I'll grab all of these page groups. There we are. So this first one is going to be, well, let's see, what number are we on here? So when this is closed, this guy, the big page, is going to be on. The visibility is on. So we are going to key that there. And then as soon as it starts to open, so maybe by 0.8, something like that. No, that's even too much. Maybe 0.9, something around there. That's when we're going to see this one hide and the other ones come on. And even that's too much. Maybe 0.95. There we go. So it's going to have a little bit of movement, but then separate right into the other sections. So we want to hide the big page. Key that. And then what we want to do is remember this number, because we're going to do the exact opposite. So these are on at 0.095 and then off at 1. So now we're going to be switching between these. So, oh, let's see. Is that off? And then key that. All right, so let's see. There we go. So we're going to have this transition now between the two that nobody would ever notice. Cool. And now we're just going to do some animation on these pages. And you could either just hand animate them, which might be the easiest thing to do, or you could set it up to work with the set-driven key that we've got. Which I think I might do. So first things first is load in all of the joints for the big page, because we do need a little bit of motion on that. And let me increment and save so we don't have to do any of that again. And again, this we could fix this blend shape if it's bugging. Yeah, it's weird. One side's, I think when I was modeling, I didn't pay attention to that side so much, but that's okay. Let's look at this side, because I think this side would be closer to our body. Maybe we wouldn't notice that. I don't know. Just be careful when you're moving that book blend shape around. Anywho, so let me grab this, and I'm going, oh yeah, so we do have to give these things different names, but for now, let's hope this works. So rotates, and I'm going to key that, and then we're going to go to 0.95, how about 0.96? Oh, it's already off. You know what? I didn't even notice that switch happening. That's fine. Then we don't really have to do this one. But we do have to do these guys. So let's do that instead then. And just to make my life a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is key this, just so I can test this just over maybe 30 frames or so, which is going to be way too slow, but just so I don't, I can, oops, what's happening? What's going on? I think it's the parallel acting up here. Well, that's no good. Good thing I actually saved an increment and save, so let's open that up again, because we need to be able to key this stuff. I think I incremented and saved. Well, that's not it. Nope. Where did my increment and save go? Open scene. Yeah, I don't see one. What's 1053? 11. Is that the last one? 1050. It's from 2 days ago. Well, that sucks. Oh man. Okay, so I have to do that all over again. Okay, let's see here. Just bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to pause. Alright, so I think it's actually there. Let me see. Open scene. For some reason, it wasn't saving with the .ma, so it's a bit scary there. But let's go back in. Alright, so DG is set. I'm curious why I wasn't able to key this here. So let me see here. Key selected. Key selected. Yeah, so just make sure DG is working. Otherwise, this is what we want. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is either just animate them directly, which would be the easiest thing to do, or you could set up some set-driven key. I'm just going to animate them directly because, you know, it's just a one-off shot. Otherwise, what I would do is time them to the set-driven key. So I know that this page is going to be flopping down here. Now, what's going on with my weight painting? I guess that's okay. So let's just do this. Cool. And you know what, maybe I could do some set-driven key with that. So let me just key this. Edit, set-driven key. Flow driver, there we are. Rotations. And the control is this. So key. And let's go back to where it's shut. And I'm going to assume preferred angle on the joints, which should just go straight. I'm going to key that again. Cool. Alright, so that's one done. And you can see here that, you know what, maybe this could be a little bit better. So maybe I'll just add in just somewhere along the way just to make this a little bit more fluid. And we might want linear set for this too, possibly. Yeah, let me undo that. That's not working. So let me, I think we're just gonna have to do just a fluid thing for now. And I think we can fix that with the graph editor. All right, so that's one page done. Now these other 2 pages in the single are gonna be flipping over to the other side. So what I'm going to do is work on the outer one first and go into the other ones after. So let's see here. Load this. And let's see, rotations and translations, maybe both. Key that. And then this is going to be flopped down this way. Cool. And let's see here. So we're doing translations as well, so I just want to make sure there's no gap or anything. Something like that. So I'm going to key that. And then when this is straight, obviously we're going to go and select that first joint and assume preferred angle and just select them all again and key them. That's interesting. Why does that not go fully shut? Anyhow, let's key that. Maybe I didn't key. Well, let's do this again. So we got this guy, and I'm just going to make sure that it's all fully keyed. So key, there we go. And let's hope for the best. So did it actually do it this time? No. So why are you not working for me here? Let's see. Super preferred angle. And I'm going to key that. Now it should be going between the two, but it's not. It's not. Oh, because I'm missing. I didn't include the rotation that it needed to be part of. All right, let's do that. 3rd time's a charm. Last time, here we go. And let's say that's good, so I'm going to key that. And that should be all. Oh yeah, I have to rekey this too. All right, now we should be good. Good stuff. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other pages. Then we just have to do the folding part. So let's do, and we'll just be more careful for the next one here, which is this guy. Yes, this one. So let me see here. We're going to load all of its keys. Make sure you're getting all of the rotations and translations. Key it in a default pose first. Maybe that's the easiest thing, which is what I usually do. And I'm going to rotate this down. So like that. This guy take over. Up there. Something like that. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And I'm going to key that. Very cool. And that just leaves our little single page just floating there all by itself. Now, why did it get shrunken down? I guess that's the... Oh, it's not. It's just halfway through something. All right, so I'm going to change this guy's starting position here just a little bit. There we are. And just because we are going to see more on this side of it, perhaps, I'm going to reverse the normals on it. So, deform. Not deform, mesh display, reverse. There we go. All right, and last thing. So again, I'm going to load this guy's driven, and I'm going to increment and save. There we go. Grab all these guys and key that. And then open it up. Now this is a little bit off, so I'm going to have to take this and shift it over a bit. Which means that, you know, this isn't quite aligned. So we're going to bring that back into the middle. And we're going to key that. Cool. Now, if there's too much of a gap, we can always just tweak that with the set-driven key. Or if we need these things to be a bit longer, we could do that still too. Good stuff. So all we need to do now is the hard part, I guess, which is the folding of stuff. Now, why is that guy so much longer here? Let's figure that one out. I feel like, yeah, for some reason it's not quite right on the, let me just move that down a bit. There we go. All right, so we just have to do the paper curl aspect of things, and that's done. Yeah, what's going on with this guy? He just keeps messing up. So just gotta be careful with how this is posed. Just undo it a couple times. That's fine. I'll just rekey that. All right. So let's see here. So now we just have to do the folding. You know, the traditional paper fold, paper roll type of thing. And for this, what I'll probably do is start on the inside piece and work my way out to the outer sides. And let's see if we can do this in just a couple minutes, so I can save this video off and upload it. Increment and save first, though. So let's see here. So starting with this inside guy, since I've already got everything selected as well. Yeah, so I'm going to just animate this down. There we go. Key that. I know it is kind of going through some stuff, but I think as soon as we go into like a linear type of transition in the graph editor with this, it should be better. Oh yeah, I didn't set my key, so I'm gonna do that again. Cool. And then we'll just do the same thing here. Yeah, so this part here, just going through it, and I wonder if we go into the graph editor with that. And just make sure everything is set to maybe linear. Get a better result, a little bit better, but still going through just a little tiny bit. Maybe it's the starting position is actually in through it, perhaps. Maybe that's why it is doing what it's doing. So let me just raise this up a bit. Keep that. All right, cool. And let's do these other pages. So we'll grab this chain, load driven. Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is going to be curved down this way. Something like that. Cool. And then let's do the last one, which is this dude. So again, we already keyed the beginning and end, so it's just a matter of keying the stuff in between. Again, using set driven key for this. Cool. And I think that's all we need. Awesome. There we go. Simple book opening that, you know, it looks nice and stylized still. It looks pretty good, to be honest. Except for this guy that's going through. So let's see if we can just fix this one up just a smidge more. Let's see if we can get these keys going. It's right here. Something just messed up there. All right, let's try that. Cool. There we go. I'm going to add just a little bit of thickness to this guy too. You know, if there is a little bit of intersections, it's a high possibility you wouldn't even notice it, to be honest. Let's straighten that out. Just a smidge. Cool. There we go. Got book open. So, and it's just basically controlled by this guy. So, you know, you could position this anywhere you want, constrain it to your character's hand. And now we've got this slider that we can basically animate this thing opening and closing. Well, at least opening. Cool. And I'm going to stop the video there.